Hi everyone, my name is Chance Cooper. I'm currently an interventionist aide at Wills Point ISD at Woods Intermediate. Today I'm going to be presenting my guided reading presentation over the early readers levels D through I. Uh, And the course I'm currently in is Reading and Literacy 2, RDG 370. My professor's Dr. Laura Slay, and the main thing I'm going to be focusing on today is monitoring for meaning. It's the strategy we're going to go over today. Now, the profile we're going to be over is most early readers. I mean, this can flex a little bit, but it's mainly first graders starting between the levels D through I. Early readers are really trying to get independence. We're really trying to get them to focus almost on themselves. This way they get used to different text and different learning strategies so they can decode words a little better. And it's a great way to help them develop a little bit stronger comprehension so they start to understand things a little better. I mean, this doesn't mean we don't help them. We provide pictures, almost like in the picture. I tried providing pictures on each slide that really fits into the slide and what we're kind of looking into, like the teachers helping them, and she supports them, but she kind of wants them to do their own thing so they can get better. This just helps them expand their vocabulary and how each how they can expand like their different word structures and sentence structures. Okay, now the skills learned during early reading. There's really three. No, there's four main skills, and I wrote them down. Wrote them down in the boxes in order, and this is where they start fixing their mistakes, and they follow really four rules. They're in the boxes, and I'll read them off to you. So the first one is apply phonics rules and decode new words. They're just really decoding new words, and then expand the sight word vocabulary and read with phrasing is the second one. This is just expanding their sight words. I mean, it's just constantly. This is just helping you really get it down. And then retell and summarize short stories. This is great, especially since there's questions about this all the time on it usually questions on tests, stories. I mean, it's just a good thing to help them comprehend it better, while also maybe them picking up a few things while they're comprehending it. Now, number four is practice comprehension through different discussions. This is where it's really good for groups, I guess. They can talk along their friends with you. It's really whoever they feel comfortable talking with. Now, and that's really up to them. It's whatever they feel comfortable with. Okay, access. This is really where the teachers run like records. They take different notes and they basically look for different cues. And the MSV cues would be meaning, structure, and visual. These just really help pinpoint the strengths and look for areas of improvement that they can improve on. If you look on the side over here, I put all three of them, really the three main ones over there. And the first one is the DRA, the Development Reading Assessment, which is how they really identify the child's reading levels and stuff. I mean, this just helps majorly. I mean, sometimes you can tell without it, but this just helps. Like it's like a confirm, and it also helps. Maybe if they're having some other struggles, might help point them out. Another one is sight word inventory. It helps monitor high frequently words that they constantly come across. And then notes. It's just they to, they take we take notes on the behaviors, the fluency, and different strategies that they could be using. Okay. And next is decide. And as again, our focus is on monitoring for meaning, and it's like rereading if something doesn't really make sense. That's the real thing we're going for. And this just helps use the results of it. Really just helps focus on the strategy and helps really pinpoint the accuracy that they're in. As it says, the teachers provide text with 90 to 94% accurate, different focus opportunities, basically. See how well they're focusing. And then the guide, the main thing that we're guiding is this is really what happens in, as I said, as I wrote, is the 15 to 20 minute time span. Really, each lesson really typically goes through. I mean, it can be longer, but this is what it typically goes through. First, you do a sight word review, which I'd probably do a little bit longer because, sight words are repetitive. You want to get them down. But they're basically sight words. And then you could introduce books, which the book introduction, which is usually around 3, 4, 5 minutes. And then you have them whisper to themselves, and then after that, you give them you can give them, I'd say 10 minutes. It could be it depends on the time you have left in the class, I guess, or what you really like to have the students do. And then it helps teach the point and also get to word study. So the 5 main things in guide, I'm going to go ahead and go through them real quick. It's sight word review, book instructions, whisper reading, teaching point, and word study. And this all up together usually takes about, we'll say 20 minutes, give or take. And these just really help you find some prompts like, does this make sense? And that's what you want them to ask. And if they should try it again, look back into it, or it's really up to them. They find out what's wrong. I mean, you help them, of course, you got them in the right way, but it's really helping them out. And now the activity I would want to do for monitoring for meaning is really I would just teach it by getting the good readers to make sure that what they're reading makes sense. And if it doesn't, we really stop, think, and fix it. And then we read some short sentences. And this is where you can purposely mess up some of the sentences and see if they catch on. I think that's probably the best way I can really think of to monitor for meaning. That way they really understand that what was wrong and how they can fix it. Like the dog ran the big tree house. The dog ran to the big tree house. I think you could make them think, oh, that didn't sound right. And make them check the picture. Visuals are really big. And that's not a treehouse. That's a stump. Like I have in here. It changes, and especially the visuals super help them. They're like, hey, that's not a tree. That's a stump. Two totally different things, but it helps them understand. And it's really just practice, and that way they can really learn to stop and think about what they're doing and become more aware of what they're thinking and reading. That's really the main thing we want to focus on, and hopefully they get better at it. If not, we just keep practicing. It's not a big deal if it takes them a little longer. And next is the monitor. This is where I want to basically use my notes and help observe the class, basically, and see who is really focusing on it and who's really understanding about what's going wrong, and basically who's really looking for the clues and really focusing in on it. That way I can see who needs extra help, or I can adjust the lessons for them a little bit. That makes it a little better. The 3 main things for this is the monitors the student's ability to self-correct independently, which, yeah, and then to track students' level of comprehension and fluency. I think that's the big one. Fluency is good, but the comprehension's the main point you want to drive home, because you want them to understand what they're reading and how they can fix it if they can fix it. That's the whole thing, and then you basically plan your next steps for your students. That way you monitor them, see where you need to go next. And then really my closing thoughts on all this is students that reading words is not really reading it. They're reading it, but they're not comprehending it. That's that's a really important thing. You just have to realize that just reading the words is sometimes not comprehending it, and that's what we have to work on. And it's you shouldn't let the children know it's in their power to fix it, and they can do it. And then I guess you could say my moment is really when a child looks at you and is like, I fixed it. You're like, awesome. Hey, keep up the good work. Hey, now that you understand it, let's see if you can go. Let's see if we can do it. And then you keep going back. Hey, I'll always strive for improvement. And the quote I really liked was, at least for this, was when teachers guide readers to think within, beyond, and about the text, they help students become strategic. I can't talk today. Independent readers. And then basically, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for your time.